Decluttering, where do you start? That is a great question. I'm Angela Brown and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question and I get to help you find an answer. Now, we've been helping families declutter over the last couple of years during the COVID pandemic. And one of the things that became really apparent to me is that when one person in the family started decluttering, a lot of the other family members would kind of look around and say, wait a second, there's less stuff in the house. And then they too would participate in the decluttering process. Now, this happened with one of the clients we had. We were helping a woman get rid of some of her shoes. While we were gathering up her shoes, her husband shows up with a big bag with 6 pairs of shoes in it. And I said, what's going on here? And he said, oh, I saw that you were getting rid of a lot of shoes. I thought that's what we're doing today. So without any prodding, he went into his own closet and he found 6 pairs of shoes. So as we were packing these up, I stopped him and I said, hey, wait a second. This is a brand new pair of shoes. They've never been worn before. And I'm curious, did these get in the bag by accident? And he said something very interesting. And this goes back to the question, where do I start when I'm decluttering? He said, they don't fit me. And I said, oh, did they fit you at one time? And he said, no, they never fit me. And I said, I have to ask, because I'm dying of curiosity, why did you buy them if they didn't fit? And he said, and this was really interesting, well, I went to the store to buy a pair of shoes. When I got there, they didn't have the shoes that I needed or wanted in my size. And so in order to feel like I had accomplished something, I went ahead and I bought the shoes that didn't fit. What? That makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense until you stop to realize that some of the reasons we buy things don't have anything at all to do with do we need, want, or will we use them. Sometimes we buy things for other reasons, like I wanted a sense of accomplishment, like I had achieved my objective, right? This was why he bought this pair of shoes, right? Now we're going to send them to the Goodwill, brand new pair of shoes that have never been worn because they were too small. How many things in your house do you have that are either too small, they don't fit, you're going to shrink back into them, or you're going to grow into them, and they just don't fit? So where do you start when you're decluttering? First, pull out all those items. Is it a dress that you bought for a bridesmaid and then the wedding was canceled? And so that dress is never going to happen? I mean, like, what do you have that you don't need, don't want, don't use? Or maybe you bought for the wrong reasons. That's really interesting. Now, as we go to the store, I want us to stop and pay attention before we buy again. If you're going to buy something, is it because you want to feel a sense of success in accomplishing your objective and just buying something because you went to the store to buy something, or is it actually something you need? And I don't want you to not buy things you want. I don't want you to live a minimalistic life and feel that you're starved for things because somebody told you to get rid of your things. I want you to have nice things, but I want you to have things that you use and that you want and that feel a sense of fulfillment or purpose in your life. I don't want you to just have stuff because it's a check off the checkbox. I want you to be able to turn around and walk out of the store and say, I didn't see anything there that I needed this time, and be able to walk out empty-handed. Walking out of a store empty-handed is okay. I'm giving you permission to do that. Just because you went in the store to buy something and you didn't find it doesn't mean you need to buy the next best thing, okay? I used to do this myself. I'd go to a store and I needed a pair of pants and I didn't quite find what I needed, but I would buy something a little bigger and say, oh, I could take it in on the sides, or I could take it in the hips, or I could let out a little bit here. I could make some adjustments. But then when I get home, I get busy and I never make those adjustments. And so therefore I have some weird pants that don't fit, right? So if you have a whole closet full of weird stuff that one day you're going to alter or adjust, or you're going to make, whatever to, but you haven't done it. If you haven't done it and made those changes, that's where you start to get rid of that stuff. And like what happened earlier in this story, when you start decluttering the stuff in your house just of your own goodwill, there are other people in the family that are going to go, so that's what we're doing now, huh? And they're going to start bringing their own things and adding them to the donation pile. This happened to me in my house a couple of weeks ago. I had the trunk up and I was loading stuff in the back of my car. And my husband said, what's up with this? And I said, we're going to the Goodwill. He goes, hey, hang on, I've got some stuff to add as well. And I said, how about that? And so I waited while he went and he gathered up his belongings. So when you start the process, if there's stuff that you're ready to let go of, It's good to make an announcement in the house. Hey, I'm making a trip on Saturday. If anyone wants to add something, that's great. Come do that now. Put that here. We'll take it on our way. And then also, when you go to a store, stop buying stuff that you're never going to use. All right, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up. If you got questions or if you're going through a process of getting rid of your stuff, come join us over at Hoarding World. It is a Facebook group where we are encouraging people on a day-to-day basis to change their relationship with stuff. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.